All too often, we as wives and husbands as well forget to comfort each other, forget to continue to make the effort to support each other verbally, to forget how important it is and how significant and what it buys you, what capital it buys you in a marriage to give compliments to each other, to encourage each other. How many of you today who are married have given your wife or husband or spouse a compliment? Said, "You look nice today, honey. Your hijab looks good. This dress is wonderful. Your nur is showing on your face." Only four brave souls who bravely went there out of Marwan, traveled over to Safa, and spoke that language momentarily anyway. But good job. And we have to, as husbands and wives, make this effort to think what the comforting thing is that we can say, what the compliment is that we can say. I have to give a brief example because a friend of mine, very close friend of mine, non-Muslim, came to me in tears the other day. She didn't come to me in tears. She had been crying and it was obvious by her face. She looked destroyed. And I asked, "What's wrong?" And she said, "What is it with these men?" She said, "Don't they understand? When the beginning of the relationship, they compliment you, they tell you you're beautiful, they tell you how much they love you. Don't they realize that they wrap you around their little finger when they say these little words? Can't they even bother to do it 3 months into a relationship?" She was horrified. She was exasperated, and she was only 3 months in. God forbid she would go 30 years. I mean, I'd hate to see. But think about it. In our marriages, we have to continually make this effort. Islam is a deen that not only says you have to have iman, but you have to translate that iman into action. And the action in marriage is acts of kindness, acts of love, to express your adoration and your love for each other. Because if you don't, where do people look? Astaghfirullah. People look for adoration somewhere else. And we don't want to be following in the footsteps of the Jahiliyyah, in the footsteps of the Kafirun. We want to be following the example that Islam gives us, that we adore our spouses. The results are never good when you fail to do these things. So Islam guides us to a better way. Next slide, please.